Good morning. Today we are in Saxon Math lesson 29, multiplying by multiples of 10 and 100. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Make sure you put that at the top of your notebook, lesson 29 notes, and today's date, multiplying by tens and 100s. We're going to skip our counting out loud and we're going to go right into mental math. So go ahead and label your paper A through G, and then fill out your answers. When you're ready, come on back and push play again. All right, welcome back. Here we go with our power up problem solving. So you can put problem solving onto your notebook, and it says copy this multiplication problem and fill in the missing digits. All right, so we've done some problems like this in the past, and hopefully you remember that we used some logical reasoning and some guess and check to figure out the answer. And today we're going to do the same. So I would suggest that you first start by looking at the multiples of 6, because we're multiplying by 6, right? So the common multiples of 6 are 6, 12, 18, 24, 36, 48, 54. All right, so if you look at those numbers, which two of those could you use and still get an answer that ends in 2? Well, you could do 6 times 2, and that would give you 12, so that would end in 2. But if you did that, you would not get a 3-digit answer when you multiplied the 2 by the 3. You would just get a 1-digit answer, right? So we know it's not that one. So what's the other one? It's 7. 6 times 7. And the answer would be 42. So we have the 2 there, and we're going to put our 4 up here at the top. Okay, 7 times 3 is 21 plus 4, so that makes it 5 down here. And we drop our 2 down, and we get 252. And you could go back and use division to check your work, but we're going to not do that today. And we're just going to know that we got the right answer so that we can move on. Okay, multiples of 10. Multiples are the answers that we get when we multiply 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Multiple of 10s all end in a 0. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, you get the idea. Any multiple of 10 can be written as a number times 10, and you see 3 examples here below. 20 is equal to 2 times 10. 30 is equal to 3 times 10, and 40 is equal to 4 times 10. You get how that works. All right, multiples of 100 are very similar to multiples of 10, except they all end with at least 2 zeros, sometimes more, but at least 2 zeros. So here you have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. Any multiple of 100 can be written as a number times 100, and they show you 3 examples here below. 200 is equal to 2 times 100. 300 is equal to 3 times 100. 400 is equal to 4 times 100. You got it. All right. When we multiply by a multiple of 10, we may multiply the digit or digits in front of the 0 and then by 10. And here's an example. I kind of wrote out the steps here for you below. Okay, our example is 25 times 30, and I'd like you to copy these steps into your notebook, please. The problem is 25 by 30, or times 30. We think about it like 25 times 3 times 10, okay? And we multiply 25 by 3, and then we get 75, so we do 75 times 10. When we multiply 75 by 10, then we get 750. Okay, you can also write it vertically. For example, you could do 25, let me get my little text box here, so it makes it neater. 25, and then you go down and you move your cursor or your pencil or whatever over so that it lines up with the 3 going right under the 5 and the 0 hanging off the back end. Okay, that's what we want to learn today. We want to learn how to do this vertically and to save some headaches when we do our bigger multiplication problems. Okay, we all like to make it easier, right? So the first step we would do after we write the problem the correct way would be to drop that 0 down because we're not multiplying it by anything. And then we do 3 times 5 and we get 15. So the 5 goes down here and the 1 goes up above the 2. And then 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7 and we get 750. Okay, so all of this over here on the left is telling you how to do this over here on the right. But this is a much shorter process. Okay, so basically you end up just multiplying 3 times 25 and then you add the 0 at the end. But that is what it looks like. We just did the vertical method when we were talking about the 3 or the times 30, but let's practice as if we are doing it by 300 this time. Okay, so let's add an extra 0 here and we're going to practice with our 300s. Okay, so this time we want to do, let me get the text box to make it nicer. We're going to put 25 again at the top and we're going to scooch over and now we're going to put the 3 and then we're going to add the 2 zeros at the end so that we're multiplying by 300. And then we're going to draw our nice little line on the bottom and our multiplication sign so that we know that it's a multiplication problem. And then we're going to do the math. We're going to drop our zeros and get a text box here so I can make it look nice. I'm going to drop our zeros down. Let's scooch those over so they're in the right spot. There we go. And now we need to do 3 times 25, right? And 3 times 25 we already know is 75. So then we're going to drag that over there. Okay. See how much easier that is? So you could do 3 times 5 is 15, and you would drop down the 5 and carry the 1. But that's not going to work for you. So you have to do 3 times 25. You can't just do the problem like a multiplication problem. You have to carry it over. Okay? It's 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. There we go. That's right. I was just sleeping there for a second. Ignore that. Go ahead and do the problem. 3 times 5 is 15. Drop the 5, carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 equals 7. There you've got your problem. Sorry about that. All right. Now let's move on to example 1. Last season, a college basketball player played an average of 40 minutes per game and played 37 games. How many minutes did that player play last season? Well, we want to make this much easier on ourselves. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up our problem just like we practiced. And we're going to put 37 at the top. And you guessed it, we're going to put 40 at the bottom. But remember that we need to put the 4 under the 7 and let that 0 hang out the end. Okay? Now we need to draw our nice line. We need our multiplication sign. And then we're going to do the first step, which is to drop that 0 down. Now, 4 times 7 is 4 times 7. 4 times 7 is 28. So we're going to put the 8 down here, right there. And then we're going to put the 2 up at the top, and we're going to do 4 times 3, which is 12, plus 2, and that gives us 14. So there we have our answer, 1,480 minutes. Remember to put what we're talking about at the end of the problem so we're all understanding what's going on. You can put the abbreviation for minutes, which is MIN. All right, going down to the next example, example number 2. Chandra sold 10 tickets to the school play to friends and relatives for $3.75 per ticket. They were pretty cheap tickets. How much money did Chandra collect from all of her ticket sales? Well, not very much, but let's find out how much that is. So we're going to start with our dollar sign because we're working with dollars and we don't want to forget to do that. And then we're going to put $3.75. Down below, we know that she sold 10 tickets, so we want to move our 10 way over here so that that 0 hangs out the end again, remember? Okay, and then we're going to draw our line, we're going to draw our multiplication sign, we're going to draw our dollar sign down here so we don't forget to do that, don't want to forget, and we're going to drop our decimal point down here. Okay, we're going to drop our 0 because that's our first step. Now, we just have to multiply by 1, and how easy is that? 1 times 5 is 5. Okay, 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 3 is 3. See how much easier that was to figure out? $37.50. That's how much money she made. All right. Good job. All right, here's your chance to do some lesson practice. I'd like you to set it up the same way like we just practiced. I'll do the first one with you, and then you can do the last 3 on your own. So here we have 34, and then we're going to go down. Remember, we need to scooch over. We need to put the 2 there, let the 0 hang out at the end, right? Just like we practiced. Then you're going to draw your line. You're going to add your multiplication sign, and you're going to drop that 0. That's our first step. Now, 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 times 3 is 6. So you've got your problem done nice and easy. Okay, you do the next 3 by yourself. Remember to put the ones that are the multiples of 110 on the bottom and shift them over, and that will make your life so much easier. All right, and here is the rest of your lesson practice. Remember, it works just the same like we practiced, except that with the dollar sign and the decimal point, you want to make sure that you get those in the right place. When you look at your answer, if the answer does not seem right, then go back and check where your decimal point line landed and make sure that it's where it needs to go. All right, and here is your homework. Pages 180 to 182, numbers 1 through 30. You're only going to do the even numbers. Only the even numbers, please. Okay, and you need to turn in your lesson notes and the even numbered homework. All right, have a great day, and I shall see you later. Bye.